Okay, so the San Diego Padres are making money moves this offseason. The San Diego Padres have officially acquired Yu Darvish from the Chicago Cubs. So, in exchange for Yu Darvish, the Chicago Cubs get Zach Davies, the right-handed pitcher, the number 11 prospect and shortstop Reginald Preciado. They get the number 13 prospect and Owen Cassie, I think it is. They get Ismael Mena, who is the number 15 prospect, shortstop Yeison Santana, the number 16 prospect. So let me tell you something. The San Diego Padres are really making money moves with these pitchers. First, it was Blake Snell, and now it's Yu Darvish. And just a little background information on Yu Darvish. He is the runner-up for the 2020 NL Cy Young Award. He's a four-time All-Star. In 2020, his stats, he had an 8-3 record, a 2.01 ERA, 76 innings pitched. He let go of 59 hits, 18 runs, 17 earned runs, 14 walks, and 93 Ks. And this was reported by Mark Feinstein and written by AJ Casavel. So, Nomar, you go first. What do you think about Yu Darvish
I mean,
being traded to the San Diego Padres?
this was an absolute steal from the Padres from the Cubs that the Padres made. You Darvish, I'm a Cubs fan. My favorite pitchers, outstanding for us. Did a great job, and Padres are really making some big deals here. Just acquiring Blake Snell the other day. Now they're getting you Darvish. I think, to be honest, the Padres are going for a World Series run right now. Um, with that team they have, Machado, Tatis. Now you add those two. This team's gonna be fun to watch next year.
Absolutely. And I mean, again, I told Nate this when they acquired Blake Snell. Last season, it looked like they were kind of focused on hitting. They took Manny Machado, Eric Hosmer. It looked like Fernando Tatis Jr. was coming into his own that we expected him to be. But I mean, now it's all pitching. And I mean, you need pitching to win. And I think they just snagged two of the best pitchers in the game in Blake Snell and Yu Darvish. And obviously, we expected them both to sign. But now, since it's official, I mean, it feels like reality has hit us that the San Diego Padres have turned into a big threat. Now, again, going back to other trades, I can't right now it looks like a steal, but I can't necessarily call it that because these are some pretty high ranked prospects that the Chicago Cubs are getting. And I mean, if I'm a Chicago Cubs fan, I'm very interested and intrigued on what they're actually getting here. I mean, you don't just get the number 11, number 13, number 15, and 16 prospects for nothing. And so, I mean, as a Chicago Cubs fan, I'm looking at this very intrigued, very interested in what these guys can do. And I mean, let's be honest here. There's a million baseball players in the world. You're not the number 11. You're not top 20 prospects for no reason. There has to be something good about you that the Chicago Cubs are getting. And I mean, if I'm a Chicago Cubs fan, I mean, you lose a pitcher like you, Darvish, and obviously you're gonna feel a certain way towards it. But when you get prospects like these, you're looking at a really bright future.
Absolutely. And another thing, you Darvish was there. It's like I saw him this year as John Lester's replacement because no offense, John Lester, love you, but you're too old for the job. You Darvish was pulling out wins for us. And I say he's one of the main reasons why we're doing so good this year. His pitching performance was outstanding. For the few games that I watched, again, going 8-3 and being a Cy Young runner up, that's pretty impressive.
Right, and let me tell you something. You Darvish is definitely. I don't want to say he's very underrated, but I will say you Darvish is definitely. I don't think he gets a lot of credit that he deserves, and obviously that is the definition of underrated. But he is that type of pitcher that when you look at him, you know exactly what you're getting out of him. I mean, let's be real here. Like every team he has stepped on, he has been a major part of that team. I mean, you look at his years in with the Texas Rangers back in 2013, he had a 2.83 ERA. And I mean, then you look at what he did with the Los Angeles Dodgers. He was a key piece to them making those World Series. Did they win? No, but he was a very key piece. And then he goes to Chicago for those 2 years. And especially last year, he had an amazing year. And I mean, I think Yu Darvish has always been a very great quality pitcher. I think the one bad year you can point to for Yu Darvish was in 2018 when he had one win, three losses, and a 4.95 ERA. I think that's like the only technically bad season I can really call it. I mean, he had like other four ERA like years, but I think that's like the worst season he's ever had. But when he's really on, he's a very key piece to all these teams. I mean, Texas Rangers success. I mean, you also got to remember towards like 2013, 2014, the Texas Rangers were actually somewhat of a big team. And
Yep.
they were making playoff appearances. They did have a lot of tools, and he was a good part of that team. And then you look at what he did for the Dodgers and how they made some type of fight with the Houston Astros, and then you look at what he did in Chicago. I mean, Yu Darvish has always, in my opinion, has always been a very good quality pitcher, and I mean, any team's lucky to have him. But as for Chicago Cubs fans, you got to be excited about having 4 top 20 prospects. You got to be. I mean, it's just we don't know how good they're gonna be, but I mean, it looks like the future in Chicago, especially the young future, is very bright.
Absolutely, I agree with everything you just said.
So with that being said, I mean, congratulations to the San Diego Padres on acquiring Yu Darvish. As for Chicago Cubs fans, this isn't these 4 prospects are looking really good, and I can't wait to see how they turn out in the MLB.